Okay, so it's July 1st of 2024. Obviously, you can see better than me. I'm telling you, every week my eyes get worse. Sometimes every morning when I wake up. Like now, it's like, I don't know, it's bad. It's worse than what it was last time I did this, which wasn't even a week ago. Okay, you can see what's going on here. Right? It's going to take a while for them to spring up. I asked Andre to water them. They don't feel very, like, doesn't even feel like he watered them. Well, yeah, I guess there's he watered them a little bit. Okay. Right. I mean, once they start, they should really spring up. Hopefully it will be a long summer. All right. So okay, let me put this on myself because I'm out here now, and these ones didn't make it in the ground yet. Do you see dry leaves, right? So okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on these boxes. Where can I put this camera? I'm gonna have a smoke. Get started. Maybe right here. There we go. Okay. I don't know what this eye doctor, he lying to me, people, I'm telling you. Oh my God, I don't have freaking glasses. Wait, I think I left some in here. Hold on a second. Not that they help, because they don't. I think this thing is recording. Oh my Lord. Can't see shit. This is bad. You know, I'm wondering, when I went for this eye surgery, right? Because it's this eye that's getting, I mean, we already know 2%. You don't expect much from this one in the first place. Seriously, that's just enough to see a freaking door frame when this one completely goes. That's just considered a spare wheel. All right. With 13%, which it's not at 13%, and if it is, it's being blurred over with that cataract lens. Seriously. Remember when I went for the Roto-Rooter and they gave me those drops that I had to use like 4 days or a week before surgery, right? I think something like that, right? And there was 3 different drops. I had to use the first 2 within that time period before surgery, and then after surgery I stopped using one and I had to use something else after surgery. And by the time I actually went and seen him personally and brought the bottles in, I had already used it the way it told me to be using it on the bottle, and I still had a few more days left. Anyway, he discovered that the labels were all backwards on the bottles, and I was using those drops wrong. Next time I go see him, I'm going to ask him about that, because he blew it off like it was nothing. Well, if it was nothing, why was it required to be done a certain way right before surgery and after surgery? I mean, clearly there's a reason why it needed to be done that way, whereas mine was completely backwards and all mixed up. So, like, for him to blow it off and act like it didn't make a difference in terms of how it affected my eye, well, maybe this is what's going on here, because this is not cool, people. Like, at the rate that I'm going, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see anything next year because of the deterioration within the week. It's week by week, day by day, right? Sometimes I get up in the morning and I can tell. Yesterday I seen, often, like many times really, I get up in the morning and I know I could see better yesterday than I can today. That's how I feel again today. Yesterday I seen better than I can today. And that's becoming a regular occurrence. Why? Why? Why is it deteriorating as fast as it is? As he's telling me, oh, don't worry, you'll have long time to see. See what? A big fucking cloud? Like, come on. And of course, different light spectrums. I have to holler to the camera. Different light spectrums. I haven't even gotten outside and already my nose is running. Because I was running and doing whatever in the inside. Working with compost material. Yeah. Fucking that shit. Okay. So, Anyway, so basically, today is Monday, the 1st of July. Oh my God. I thought I brought out my smokes. Yeah, here we go. 1st of July. I'd like to do 2 days back to back, but, you know, I got that basement nagging on me, right? But I just find if I do back to back, I used to be able to do 3-4 days when I was younger, I guess you could say. Oh, I'm not 63. I'm 62. However that happened where I skipped a year, I don't know. But I'm actually 62. But, you know, a few years back when I had more energy, I would be out here 5, 6, 7 days a week, especially when I had the city's, you know, whip on my back, right? Anyway, I'd like to do back to back. I'd like to do today and tomorrow in terms of working what I'm going to do here. And then I need 1 day to, because it's really physical, right, people? And what I'm going to be doing today is, oh, look at my hair. I got to do something with this. What I'm going to be doing today is a lot of bending, lifting, pulling, carrying, whatever, right? Pushing, you know, heavy shit, right? That's basically what I'm going to be doing. Cutting. Stupid crap. On my hands and knees with the knife. I'm going to start over at Mr. Lace's cat house first. On my hands and knees, basically, with the knife. Yeah. Somewhere I got a knife around here. And I'm going to start with the grass. I can barely see what the fuck is in there. Like, my eyes got worse since yesterday. Because this lens, you know, it's a crap. I should have kept my original lens, right? But he took out the lens because it was easier to do the rotor-rooter. That's why he took out the lens, not because I needed it changed. Clearly, he made it easy for himself. This one, if he rotor-roots, it's hard to say who's going to watch the kids, and I already spoke to my son, and he said he'd help me out with it, but with this shit going on, it ain't happening for the summer. It can't. There's no way. Right? I told him to keep the lens in, not that it would make much of a difference, because it wouldn't, because I only got the 2% in this eye. He goes, that's when I found out that it's easier to take out the lens, then do the rotor-rooter, and put in a new cataract lens. But I told him I don't want you changing it. I don't like the way it feels. Sometimes you can feel it, right? And when I rub my eye, I like, you know, this one, if I rub this eye, I'm a little scared, right? Because if I push too hard, I push where he did came in with his rotor-rooter, you know, and it starts to hurt, and I don't like that. So you gotta be, you know, seriously, you gotta watch what these doctors do to you, because it's no sweat off of their back. It really isn't, you know. But for sure, I'm going to ask him, why are you not concerned about those drops being mixed up? Right? Because if that was the case, you just tell people, here's some drops, use them any way you want, doesn't matter. As long as you do 4 and 2, right? You can mix match, you can do, you know, do a Mod Podge or whatever you want, as long as you show up for surgery. Well, what are the consequences around that? Well, maybe it did something, and now maybe this is why this is deteriorating as fast as it is, right? He won't change the lens. He gave me back the money that I paid him for the lens, but I doubt he would change the lens, because maybe there's something wrong with the lens. He hasn't done another test to see if I've lost more octave nerves. So the last time that was done, I was at 13. Now I could be at 10 now, or maybe 9, or maybe even 8. And if that happens, oh boy, that's when that one becomes a spare wheel. This one maybe is still a spare wheel, and you're basically hooped. Like literally, you're fucking hooped. You're blind. You're blind. And I don't know what's going to happen to me when that happens. I won't be doing this shit, that's for sure. But while I can, I'm trying to get in the zone. I'm trying not to dwell on the negativity that's going on in my life, right? A lot of it is centered around Andre because of school, and everybody's worried. We're back to that worried mode with the being able to compute at a high level of academics when it comes to the English language and basic science and, just whatever, right? Mainstream education, I guess you could say. And with that, though, comes the expectation of performance, right? So it becomes a battle as to, oh my God, I don't know if I want anyone listening to my conversation over here. I'm just trying to gear myself up to get out in that corner. I'm not going to look at anything, not that I can see it very well. I'm not going to let it bother me. I know I'm going to be in here doing these 2 boxes with the chicken wire and all that crap, right? But I need to make a spot for Amari. I don't want to put him there because we're going to be doing a lot over there at some point. I can put him here and I can put him over there. I have to repair my stairs. Yeah. Ice got worse since yesterday. I don't fucking... You know why? Because I work all day, people. That's why. What did I do yesterday? I got into my... underneath my kitchen cupboards, a couple of them. I'm up on top on one of them. And I have this wall unit. I had a row of books. Beautiful, beautiful encyclopedias. I'll show them to you. Children's encyclopedias. I'll show them to you. I sure hope you can hear this. I hear somebody talking and it irks me. Anyway, oh God, where's the other? I need these. Oh, one's missing. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, I got into this cupboard, right, where I have food stuff, but I left one shelf with these beautiful, I got school books in there and whatnot. Beautiful books, people. And beautiful children's encyclopedias. Big freaking stack full. I'm not sure what year it came from. I'll show it to you in the next video or two, right? I got them stacked up in my hall right now. And so it gave me a shelf to move things around and condense my jars and food, because I'm clearing out the kitchen. Oh, and I found a beautiful cast iron frying pan with the lid that you can use as a frying pan. Oh man, I have never used it yet. I remember buying it, but I put it away and I forgot about it. Anyway, I found it. And we're going to be using it, right? So I have to clear out the kitchen and make room. Like, right? Remove the miscellaneous jars and, and so I all day I just was pulling out this, pulling out that. Everything's scattered all over the floor, telling Andre, you know the drill. Right? Got most of it put away the way I wanted it, right? In terms of, it was the right thing to do what I did. But it took all day. And I ended up ordering pizza. So that was a treat. Because I was so tired by the time I was done. I'm mostly done, right? There's other things that I can do to make it better, which I will, but it's going to take time. But before I do that, I got up this morning, and plus I did laundry yesterday, you know, and then this morning I hung up what was in the washing machine. I did the dishes. So instead of being out here, then going in, doing laundry and doing dishes, this time I hung up the laundry that was in the washing machine, and I did the dishes, and now I'm here. I mean, it's the thing is, it's the fact that I go basically all day, right? And I use a lot of energy. So maybe that's it. I don't know, like... I don't know. I don't understand it. One more smoke, and then I gotta shut up. I'll take the camera over there, and I'll show you how I'm gonna start cutting freaking grass. Right? So I can make a workspace, because I have to bring out the skill saw and make stakes, and I gotta do stair repairs, and you know, I gotta fix up Mr. Lace's cat house. I need to put the window in there. I need to clear out this so that we can build a little fort for Andre and his little friend. Right? I gotta poke my nose into the hen house area to see what I want to do in there in terms of all this wood, everything that's in here. You know, it's either going to be used up in the next month in terms of mad dash repair, and then the rest can go into the hen house area somehow, some way, nicely stacked, or it's going out in the fucking garbage, or it's going along a fence, because a lot of this stuff, when I do fence repairs and stuff, I use it. I can't sit in the elements. I like it under the tree. But it's time to clear this whole thing out and do something different with it. I asked my son about the hen house area. He said he didn't really care at this point. I said, okay, fine. I'll deal with it. And then, you know, after I make a path and he can move around, then he can come and do what he wants. Anything that I can't cut with skill saw myself at this point, because the only thing that would... I don't think I'd attempt to cut plywood. Right? Like the good old days, hey? No. That's because the wood, they buckle, right? They buckle and shit, and it makes the skill saw go like this, and, you know, but a straight cut, or, you know, doing a stake or something, or cutting a board to run through here, or cutting a board to repair a stair, stupid shit like that I can do. That's easy. And I might even let on, and I've got a, I don't know if it's a woman's freaking skill saw. Not that I think that they would specialize in making women's skill saws, but it's a smaller one with less power in it. And I don't like it. I like mine, right? But there's one over there in the little shed that I built, right? I'm so proud I did that. You don't even know. It's amazing where all that shit came from, just out of nowhere in my body. Like, oh, I was going to make a shed. Oh, I'm going to cut some floorboards and, you know, and run this and build that. And, oh, yeah. So anyway, it's a little smaller skill saw, right? It's not very powerful because, you know, he's as big as me now, right? So I may let him attempt to first turn it on. Hold it, let it run, so you get sensitized to it. You know, right? You know, right? And get him started with something really small. Something in there, like a 1x1 or something, right? Or a 2x1. Just simple, really, really simple. So that he can gain his confidence with it, right? And, because where the problem comes is if they run into a knot, when it's the blade, right? If it runs into a knot or something, or, you know, you're doing something that you're pushing it and you're trying to make it do something it doesn't really want to do, it can, right? It just, right? Or it kicks, you know, the bloody thing fucking kicks, so you gotta be, right? And if you're cutting wood, like plywood, big sheets of plywood, the plywood, as you're cutting, drops, which makes kick, right? That's the only thing. But you know, with strength, and you know, you're paying attention to what you're doing, it's not a problem. So I'm going to start him off with baby steps, like with everything I do with Andre. It's always baby steps. You know, I want you to win the race. I don't want you to lose the race. So you're going to start, you're going to like be the tortoise, right? As long as you're intent to cross the finish line, you'll make it. And you might even surprise yourself and win. Yeah, so maybe by the end of summer, we might be seeing Andre cutting a few boards and doing a few things. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I want Andre to basically learn life skills whenever he can get that chance in terms of the real world, right? Not some institutional, whatever, mainstream. Because, you know, the big debate now is should Andre go to school or this or that, and this is where a lot of these threats are coming in with me, and, you know, and just whatever, but I have him in homeschooling, right? Now, prior to the year coming up, it's always been a kind of a free flowing homeschool situation, because Andre likes to buck the bull, right? He doesn't like to, you know, especially when he was younger. He's stubborn. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, no, I got a headache. I don't want to do it. I'm not, okay. We went through with Marcane, first me, years and years and years, then Marcane, years and years, quite a few really, 3 or 4 years anyway, in between me, and then a good 3 years with Marcane, for sure. And then Marina showed up, and then Marina put in a year and a bit, right? And then things slowed down again, and then Marcane and Marina kind of tried to pick it up, and I mean, through that process, he did learn to take instruction. He listened better to Marcane than he did to me. And because Marcane was there with Marina, he listened to Marina better than he did to me. Right? So that was good, right? And it really helped. And then when I bought him the Nintendo and his laptop, oh my God, you know, he's doing things. He tells me, Nana, I read every day. I force myself to read every day to learn how to make things with the Nintendo. He has to read with the Nintendo. And, you know, he's getting pretty fast at it. Maybe not out loud reading, you know, he still struggles with the out loud part, but the in reading to himself, trying to figure something out, he's actually doing pretty damn good. So anyway, you know, everybody wants me to put him into, you know, whatever, school, and I'm like, no, he's not ready yet. You know, there's too many problems in the system. You know, it's like, you know, he needs to be eased into it. So anyway, with the homeschooling, there was another option where I could plug him into, I guess you could say, the mainstream, but through online tutoring, I suppose, where he's assigned a teacher, and then through that process, they assess him, which in this case would be fairly low grade, because he's stubborn, right? But he's open to it, you see, that's the thing. And as long as if he's open to it, and we introduce him to taking instruction from another person outside of me, Marcane, and Marina, and it's not stressful to where it shuts him down, and he rebels and gets stubborn, and it backfires in everybody's face. And this is how I explain to him, right? You know, I'd rather you walk to the wall, be the tortoise, get to the wall, figure out how to go around it without injuring yourself, versus running to the wall at top speed, flying into it, and that's it, right? Because he's at a crucial age right now. You don't want to lose his mind. You don't want to lose him to outside negative influences. You don't want to lose him to the pressure that, you know, with the self-esteem, with, you know, low self-esteem, and just whatever, right? So, you know, I tell them, like, I think I'm going to put you in now, because the last couple of years they're asking me, do you want to put Andre with a teacher? No, not yet. You know, he had Marcane, he had Marina. You know, that was working really good. He was responding, he was listening, he was making an effort. So we'll see next year. So this year, I'm thinking to do it. Well, I am going to do it. I am going to do it. It's not thinking. I'm going to do it. And I'm getting him to really realize what instruction means. You're going for the instruction, right? Teacher will give you the instruction. She will tell you this, this, and this. You will have X amount of time to do the work, and it's up to you to do the work at your discretion in terms of when, you could do it at 1 o'clock in the morning. Oftentimes we're up, believe it or not, because of Amari. Or whenever, as long as you hand it in, you can't be tardy with it, because I tell them you can't be tardy at school either, right? You got to be respectful to the teacher, do whatever, hand it in, and then, they give you another module and you work on it, right? There's enough people in the house to help you with things that maybe you don't understand. And if you can do that, for a fair length of time, and be responsible and respectful and productive about it in terms of handing in the work, then yeah, maybe we'll think about when you're a little older. I say 17. I tell them Shimei went back into high school at 17, and she did really well because she was already grounded with her personality in terms of, right? She was determined, she could read, she could write, and so she went for the instruction, right? Where Andre would be like, he'll just be like a ball bouncing off a freaking wall. And, these kids are carrying knives in school now. His little friend goes to school all paranoid, talking about kids carrying knives. They got this shit that they're coming up to other kids and grabbing them up like this and then slamming them down on the ground and just stupid shit, right? And like, he doesn't need to worry about any of that. He doesn't need to be worrying about being pulled out of class and, everybody looking at him because he's, got a learning disability, going off with whoever in that room. It could be some kid on lithium with behavioral problems. It could be an immigrant that can't speak English or whatever, right? And then given work, and because that's what they do, they basically give the work and then have to come home and do the work. Like, I don't know, he's not going to be gone 7 hours by the time he walks there and walks back, goes through all that overstimulation to come home and do freaking. It's not going to happen for Andre. But getting a module for the week or 2 weeks or however they do it, we don't know yet. I can see him doing that because between myself, Mark Hain, but mainly Mark Hain and Marina, because he had to grow into it, people. He had to come into his own milestone. Andre is developmentally behind in his own kind of way. You know how they say Amari is developmentally behind? Well, that's Amari with his situation. And then there's Andre. But when Andre comes into his own milestones, boy, he surpasses, right? And he surprises you. And he doesn't necessarily inform you that he got a milestone. You have to figure it out by watching the things that he does when he's working with his laptop, right? Or, like when he took the voice off of AI, the AI voice off of the TV. I said, how the hell did you do that? Like, how would you even have known how to do that? How did you even know what it was? Oh, I went on my laptop, Nana, and I Googled it, and I figured it out that way because he read. Oh, okay. Well, to me, that's a milestone. Oh, yeah, people. Oh, yeah. And that's the beauty about homeschooling. Kids, they tend to kind of migrate usually to what they're good at, right? If Tisha could have been a fashion designer, she would have been one. But, I couldn't help her with that, people. I can't even do my own freaking sewing. I'm out in the yard for too many fucking years. And now, she's older, she can teach herself. She doesn't want to. I tell her, Tisha, you could be a fashion designer. All you have to do is just learn the basic skill. I don't want, it's too late now. No, and that's another thing I tell Andre. It's never too late. You can go to, a trade school, right? When you're 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever. You can go to fucking college if you want. You can go to school when you're 40. There's people in their 60s, they go and become professors. Like, come on. It never ends, right? It's all about how you approach it and what you want out of it. But ultimately, it has to come from you, and that's why I think it's important that, because I tell them, if you go to any kind of school, like institution, right, you have to be in the head mindset of you're going for the instruction, period. Everything else is secondary. He's not there. But by doing it the way we're going to do it, with the certified teacher giving him guidance, and he's already had instruction where he was required to hand it in, right, through Marina and Marcane, it should blend in together. I mean, sure, there's going to be hiccups along the way, but you know, once he gets his foot in the ground and he starts feeling good about handing in his work, then he'll excel. Once he gets into that routine, right? And then, '15, '16, '17, we'll see. I'm saying 17, he's saying 15, 16. You know, I'm saying 17. Either or, then after he knows how to follow the instruction, hand in the work with a good attitude, be positive about it, be productive, all that crap, then yeah, I'll consider it, because then I'll know that you're there for one reason only and everything else is secondary, and you'll survive that storm. And instead of running at full fucking speed to that freaking brick wall, you're going to come to it in that situation and an institution like that where you've never been, with all these outside pressures in that institution, and you're going to learn how to navigate around it and walk, be the tortoise, and win. Yeah. That takes time for the mind to develop, because he's getting mature, right? You're giving time for him to mature with it, right? To mature into it, right? But then, we've got a little side gig going on here. Now, of course, everybody's up in arms and, is threatening me, accusing me of this and accusing me of that. Okay? Once everything settles down, I am going to allow Andre to be an apprentice. To which, if that happens, he'd be a very lucky boy at age 14. Oh yeah. To go and work with his uncle a couple, 2-3 times out of the week, depending on what's going on. In terms of, your uncle likes to leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30, so I suggest you get your ass to bed, because you're going to work tomorrow as an apprentice. It's not about the money. Whatever money my son gives Andre for his daily work, I don't care if it's $40. I really don't, people, because that's not what he's going for. He's going for that, to learn how to get up, go to work, take instruction, right? Of course, it'd be simple things. Move this, move that. Nothing too whatever, right? Because my son has his own business now, right? And so he'll be doing different things. Sometimes it's just cutting bush, like trimming trees and stuff. It's simple shit, right? But, he'd have to move the branches and stuff. Andre can be, the point is he's there. And I told him, you need to study how to drive. So I've got the old driver's book. You give yourself a year to study that, read and write, right? Write it, and write. Know how to read it, so that when you come time to take your test, you have to read it and answer questions. And then if you go to work with your Uncle Marcane and you're on a gravel road, right? And right? He shows you the ropes. He'll teach you how to drive, so that by the time you're 15, you could have your learners, Andre. You could. Yep. And with what little money that he makes, and I told him, the only thing that I expect at this point is whatever Uncle Marcane gives you, if it happens, okay, is half of the money has to go into the bank for a homestead outside of the city, so that you can either sit on the land and sell it and make a profit on it, or you can go build yourself a house. Whether you do that by yourself or whether you partner up with Uncle Marcane, because you don't know, they might end up liking to work with each other. Marcane might end up who knows? I mean, Andre, who knows? I don't know. But I said, if you're not happy with that type of job, as Marcane's teaching you under that apprenticeship, right? How to follow instructions, how to listen to a boss, how to be on time, right? What a lunch break means, and right? You get to learn all about the different tools and ropes and whatever they do, right? You know what I'm saying? And by the time you're 20, if you decide that that's not what you want anymore, but you want to carry on and be a carpenter, work on building these buildings, and you can go to school under a trade, right? And you can study for that so you can get your ticket, if that's what you want, to go do that. Or maybe, who knows? I don't know, people. Point is, if he does work with my son a little bit here and there as an apprentice, because he has the freedom to move, because I told him, it's not like you'll be at school, because you can do your module in 2 days if you applied yourself. Teacher doesn't care if you do it in 2 days or within the 2-week period that they give it to you. The point is that you hand it in completed, even if you make mistakes. Right? So, hurry up and do your module, and if you want, go. That's fine. I can still navigate. I can still manage. Right? So my grandson then, in that situation, would start to learn how to be, as Marcane would say, financially literate at an early age. Because half the money has to go into the bank for a homestead. What that homestead means, I won't be around to see it, people. It's the point that it's there. Okay? The other half, he earned it. He can do what he wants with it. His business. I ain't interfering with that. Mm-hmm. He likes that idea. He won't like getting up at 6:30 in the morning. But he'll grow into it. He'll figure it out. I'm going to bed, Nana. Why? Well, because I'm going to go off with Uncle Marcane tomorrow. He leaves the house at 6:30. Oh, okay. Did you pack your lunch? Well, you need to make sure you have a lunch with you. You got your water bottle? The one that Uncle Marcane threw out? He'll be like, damn, you got that water bottle now? Here, give me a swig. Right? I'm just saying. And of course my kids are like, they don't see it like that. They just want to be in control. Have Andre run to that fucking brick wall at top speed, not knowing how to go around it, because once he gets into that institution, if he's not grounded, and Andre is not grounded, he won't know how to go around that wall, because there's going to be a lot of freaking walls, right? Because there's just too many things that go on in a school setting that take away from developing character. So I don't know. I'm being threatened. I don't like it. Yeah. Tisha's the shit disturber, mostly. And she keeps calling in Marcane to stand on her side, so I got two beaten up on me. Yeah. Trying to muscle me into something that I know is not right at this point. Last year they offered me to sign up Andre with that teacher. I said no, not this year, because he's got Marcane and there's Marina in there, and it's working for him. It's working really good for him. He's following instruction. He's not balking. He's doing the work. Maybe not as much as they'd like, but the point is that he did it, and whatever little bit that they did to help him, it helped him with what he does now with the computer and everything else that he does. So now we're going to introduce a new player into it where, the teacher is certified. And I'm sure over a period of time, I might even get some way, somehow, a diagnosis as to what type of learning disability that Andre has. Or maybe, you know what? Just because you have a learning disability doesn't mean that you can't surpass it. Sometimes it takes years I had a learning disability, for crying out. My first language, people, was German. Don't ask me how. I figure I was in foster care and nobody told me about it. How else would I be only knowing how to speak German? I remember being with my aunt and uncle, and I remember being in Montreal as a 2-year-old because I had German measles, and they had to put me in a dark room, and I had to stay in the bed in the dark, right? And I remember laying in that bed. It was a big fucking room, right? And it was kind of clinical, really. Kind of like, a basement, like rumpus room type thing, and there was a window with curtains, and I was laying in my bed, like 2 years old or something, like a very small child, and I'm looking at that curtain, and the curtain moved, and then there was like cartoon characters, like puppets, little puppets. They look like puppets, like cartoon puppets, like Big Bird and that, those kind of puppet things, and they were like, it just burned into my memory. Maybe that's where I learned how to speak German. I don't know. I just know that when I was 5 years old, I went to my grandma's house, and I lived with my grandma before my mom finally came and got me. And she told me, you came back speaking German. You're not a word of English. Not a word of English, people. And it was really rough on her, actually, for quite a while, because I was just running all out in the yard, climbing trees, wouldn't want to come in and listen to my grandma, just doing whatever I wanted to do. And I had a German Shepherd police dog keeping me in the yard. That was my friend, right? The police dog. But I don't remember speaking German, no. But clearly it interfered with my ability to grasp the English language, because that took dedication on my part, doing a Malcolm X with the dictionary and a word book, in terms of, you get a word book with just a whole bunch of fucking words in it. That's all it is word after word after word after word after word, so that if you don't know how to spell it, you go look for it. I think it kind of spells this way. Okay, and you read. Oh, there it is. And then, of course, we've got the good old thesaurus. Don't forget that. Those 3 books and determination over a period of years improved my ability to comprehend what I'm reading, write, say, and just overall computing skills when it comes to critical thinking. It took years, and even then I have gaps. So, I'm just saying. So that's where we're at. And bring it on. You want to embarrass yourself? Go ahead. I'm going to end it on this and get to work. One more smoke. Because I don't want to go, right? I think this is still recording. I should probably go upload this onto my camera and then come back and bring it out. Because we know it's just going to blink. It's the battery, right? I don't even know. I'm assuming that this is recording. It's got that shadow. Oh God, what a waste of time if it wasn't recording. Yeah, it's recording. Okay, one more smoke. Tisha takes me to the eye appointment back then, a month ago or two, a month and a half ago or whatever it was. And we get into an argument because I was putting pressure on her to think about moving into a different house with me, so that, I could build in safety nets for Amari, myself, and whatever, right? Of course, she doesn't want that, right? And I annoyed her. So she started saying terrible things to me. By the time we drove up to the fucking front house, I really don't like you, Mom, blah, 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 blah. I think, Andre needs to be in school, and, I'm going to call social workers on you. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go again. Like, get the fuck out of here. Take your stupid shit. How many times have you said, I hate you, I don't like you? And that's another thing. I don't like it when she causes a kerfuffle, hollers and screams, be a bat out of hell, say all these mean things about whoever she's screaming on about, and then Alea May and Kyrie, let's go. And then they're running out, literally running out the fucking door as, the old evil Nana is standing there like, holy shit, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want Alea May and Kyrie to feel like they have to choose, take sides. They're too little. And I'm like, okay, well, we know what's going to happen when Alex and Tisha start fighting. I mean, it would be a big fucking fight, and she'll just tell the kids, let's go. And of course, right, so I have to disconnect people. I don't have a fucking choice. I just don't. Because it's not good role modeling for the little ones, right? Anyway, that all happened. And of course, Leia May picked up on it. Oh, here we go again. Right? Mom's speeding off with me in the car with telling Nana's this and Nana's that. Bad Nana, bad Nana, bad Nana. Fuck Nana, I hate Nana. Like, whatever. Like, grow the hell up, man. And then she wouldn't let Tisha, Tisha wouldn't let Andre play with a Leia May on Nintendo because of that. And that went on like, you're not allowed to talk to a Leia May. But Leia May snuck herself back on somehow, some way. Don't ask me how. Right? And then a month later or so, yeah, all of a sudden it's Leia May's birthday. Tisha calling up. Are you coming? Andre's like, well, last time he talked to Tisha about anything really was don't play with a Leia May. You're not allowed to play with a Leia May. But I guess with the Leia May's birthday, all of a sudden that changed. And she's, now, you need to come. And he's saying, well, no, I'm not going to. Nana, should I go? And I'm like, well, aren't you, like, nothing's been resolved, like, right? I mean, last time we knew, she didn't want anything to do with us. And she's telling Leia May not to talk to you. And, we're waiting for her to cut off the fucking TV subscription, and, we took Amari to our own appointment by ourselves without asking her, and she did phone me and ask me if she wanted, and I said no, because I'm done with it, people. I'm fucking done with it, okay? With their badass attitude, being a poor role model. I hate you. Yeah, what, you teaching the kids how to hate Nana? Like, fuck off, man. Like, it's better that they don't see me if that's the case, people. Seriously. They should be here helping to plant tomato plants with Tisha with a good attitude, but that will never fucking happen until Tisha's fucking starving. That's the only way she'd fucking do it. And even then, she'll be mad because they're not growing fast enough because she's hungry. I'm just saying, right? Anyway, phone call comes. Okay, he says no. So he hangs up the phone. And then she gets Alex's little brothers, because they're young, right, to call him. Oh, you gotta come, you gotta come, you gotta come, you gotta come. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, whatever, Andre. Like, he's always putting everybody on the spot here. And he goes, I said, whatever, just tough it out, tough it out, right? It's not Leia May's fault. It's not their fault, right? You do realize she's going to be badgering you to go to school, right? Making threats, who knows what, right? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, then do you want? Because if you really want to go, it looks to me like you kind of want to, because, his cousins, right? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, go. And then who calls? So he hangs up. So who calls next? Marcane is on the fucking phone. Mom, I'm seriously thinking about reporting you to social services for trying to alienate Andre. Because she called fucking Marcane, saying that I wouldn't allow Andre to go to a fucking birthday party, even though for the last month she's been telling Andre not to play with Leia May on stupid Nintendo. Like, come on, people. I said, do what the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. And hung up on him. Seriously. Like, I'm sick of it. But by then, Andre already said he was gonna go. Because I said I didn't fucking alienate him when you were doing whatever the fuck you were doing. He hanging out with you all the time. Like, don't accuse me of that shit. I've been letting him go to the swimming pool by himself with his friend. I let him go to the fucking grocery store now by his friend because we're taking baby steps with it, people. He's not running to that wall and then, right, having a just whatever, okay, flattening his face and injuring himself. He's learning in baby steps how to navigate into the fucking community where he's by himself or with a friend or two friends or something, right? Where he can gain that self-confidence as a young man growing up, not feel threatened, not feel afraid, not looking over your fucking shoulder who's stalking you in school, Right? What little fucking bullies got their eyes on you? You know, flashing this or in terms of sign, you know, gang sign signals and all this stupid crap that these fucking young kids are doing. Okay, and you know he's getting a taste of freedom, and he goes, "Wow, it was a weird feeling, Nana, for me to be walking around in the grocery store." I gave him $50, right? He goes, "Yeah, you know, he's learning, right? That's what I mean by baby steps, eh?" Don't tell me I'm fucking alienating him. Like, fuck off, man. No, I am guiding him, and I'm making, you know, if you're gonna throw my shit out, call me names, call me dumb, call me a welfare bum, call me a lousy mom, and now whatever, do trash my shit, then yeah, don't expect me just to say, go ahead, Andre, have a good time. Of course I'm gonna try and put the brakes on, a little bit of boundaries in there. And I did for a while. I got his attention. Did he accept responsibility? Yes, my son, to some degree or another. Did he accept full responsibility? No. But then oftentimes people don't, but I can see that he humbled himself a bit, so I'm okay with that, right? But Tisha, fuck, she don't want to humble herself with nothing. Anyway, Andre goes to the birthday party. It turns out that she tried to bribe him. She hit him up a few times. At the birthday party, saying, well, you know, you really need to go to school. I love you. I'm just worried about you. Blah, blah, blah. Just try it out for 1 year. And then apparently she even goes as far as to try and bribe him to go to school. And this is the very shit that I'm trying to teach Andre. You can't fucking take bribes just because, right, you want something, so that you end up becoming obligated to somebody else for what they want, which might not necessarily be a good thing for you. And that's what I was trying to teach him about what was going on with my shit being thrown out and the shenanigans with, you know, Marcane and his wife, right? Okay, so now we've got Tisha. Oh, I wasn't going to talk about this, but it's kind of funny, right? Now we got Tisha bribing Andre with a cell phone, an Xbox, and there was something else in there. 3 different fucking components of something, high-ticket items, so that he would not listen to me, people. So that he would do what she told him. But she forgets she speaks with forked tongue. Too many times. Where it's insignificant now. In terms of, first of all, you don't have guardianship. I do. I don't appreciate you trying to teach Andre at age 13 that he can make his own decisions, because that's what got his mother into trouble when she went to other people's houses to go play with the friends that she had. And it wasn't long before, yeah, she was making her own decisions. And the cops wouldn't go in there and get her out at 14 years old being fed methamphetamine by a bunch of fucking crazy adults who were basically pimping out their kids and using them as bait to get other kids to join the gang. That's not my idea of a good future for Andre. Thank God I can see that far, because I've been there, done that. I know what I'm up against. There's that fucking wall where Andre can learn to navigate around that wall, whatever that wall may be, because there's more than one wall. It's a brick fucking wall. It's thick. You're going to have to use strategy. You have to use critical thinking skills. You got to use a little bit of street smarts, but you don't have street smarts yet. But you're going to learn street smarts by going to the grocery store and not drawing attention to yourself. I said, do you understand what it means to be gray? Walk in society like with being gray? He goes, yeah, blend in. I said, exactly. You don't need to dress with a bunch of fucking colors, start hanging out with kids with the little hand signals to draw attention to yourself. You need to learn how to navigate around them, get to the grocery store, buy what you want, and get the fuck out and come home and be happy that you've got good food to eat. You understand what I'm saying? And I said to him, well, if that's the case, if she's trying to bribe you to go, I said, did you take it? Are you wanting to go? He goes, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking the bribe. I said, well, gee. So you see, me talking to him is working, people. But I have to talk about what's going on in order to explain to him what it is, how it's happening, why it's happening, how to deal with it. Right? Without hurting everybody's feelings, which is impossible, but besides that point, I said, okay, well, maybe it would have been better for her to offer it as a reward if because she's not gonna accept what I'm gonna do for him in terms of hooking him up with online teacher. She's not. This is an official teacher hooked into a fucking school, okay? This is government-run teacher, only they kind of do it through school, like through computer. It's hooked up with the homeschooling center, right? I didn't need it last year because he had Marcane and Marina. And he was just learning how to take instruction without balking and putting his feet into the ground and being stubborn. When you got a kid like that, you got to be very careful with a kid like that. It's too easy to lose them with the negative influences, regardless of whether they come from adults or kids. Okay? In this situation, I'm sure Tisha is, we're all worried for Andre, people. She's nobody special when it comes to, we're all worried about Andre and his quote-unquote education. Right? But again, it's those baby steps. Some things will develop faster than other things. Right? You just have to look for those milestones and keep them out of trouble. Right? So I'm going to be signing him up to a center over here, like a rec center. And I'm going to get a leisure pass and let him, as he gets a little older, to go swimming, which in that situation he'd have to take a bus. He wants to ride his bike, and I'm like, 20 blocks is too far for you to be riding your bike, Andre. You can take a bus. But that's maybe when he gets closer to like 14 and a half, 15, after he gets used to just going swimming, going to the grocery store by himself, going to those couple of few programs by himself, with or without friends, preferably with friends at this point, right, until he gains a bit more confidence. Thinking to enroll him into, he's got a trumpet, so whether he two times a month, that's expensive though, that's $120 for 4 classes at a half an hour each. In that situation, he can do 2 Zooms, and he's right in the heart of heavy traffic. It kind of makes me nervous, him taking his bike, right? I told him you can take the SkyTrain and then just walk a couple of blocks to it. It's only for a half an hour, or maybe, I asked Marina or Marcane to help maybe drop him off. Can probably schedule it in on a Sunday or something. Hard to say, right? So, so he gains that confidence so that when he, walking into things that whether he knows or he doesn't know, he'll know how to, I don't know how to explain it. He's independent. He's not reliant on other people to guide him, show him, make him feel anything other than he's there for a purpose. And right, so older, maybe Shmei went into grade 10. She was actually at grade 11, but they put her back 1 year because she had been out for so long. But she loved it. She excelled, people, because she was focused on the instruction. This is what I tell Andre. She knew how to navigate, and she had already worked, people. She had already worked with Bingy's restaurant. She's, and she was working and doing whatever, right? She had done things already, so she gained that footing. What fucked everything up was when they illegally apprehended Andre, and then when they fucking medically kidnapped Uncle John, and then in came the clowns with the frickin' Julian and that whole bullshit crap, and now she's not here anymore, but she has a story to tell. Yeah, she went in at 17, she was grounded, she was independent, she knew what she wanted. That's what I want for Andre. I told him, you go in at 17, they'll put you 1 year back, that buys you an extra year. If you want to stay 10, 11, and 12, for the instruction, then yeah, I'm not going to say no, because at least I know you'll know how to navigate, and by that time, the bully situation won't be as bad, right? This grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, oh no, that's a dangerous time, people. It is 13 years old, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I swear, that is the most dangerous time for children, at least in my Surrey, the district of Surrey. It's all over, though. It's all over. Because they're so impressionable. They're so easy to follow. They're so easy to manipulate. They're so easy to bribe. Anyway, I'll leave it on this note. I mean, I'm ready to go down swinging for Andre. Bring it on. I ain't got nothing to fucking hide here. I ain't doing anything wrong. I've been fighting hard for Andre for a whole long time. Would I have preferred to have a grandson that was a whippersnapper when it came to reading and writing and this and that and ready to be working for NASA, or have Andre the way he is? Well, it's kind of like with Amari. We love Amari for Amari, and we love Andre for Andre. And right now, Andre's a pretty good kid. He can get a little snippy with me and, a little whatever, but that's okay. And, he likes to scatter things around, and we're working on it in terms of, like, Andre, how am I going to teach you how to really clean? He goes, look, Nat, I cleaned the living room. I'm like, okay. And then he goes off and he goes with Uncle Marcaine. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I'm stuck in the living room. Well, I might as well do a deep clean. Oh, fuck. I get into the corner, I start pulling shit out that he stuffed in there. And I'm finding bread and bowls and, snot rags and pencils and paper and things that shouldn't even be there, right? It's like, okay, Andre, and now he's got to figure out a different strategy here, I think I'll have to sit down and have you come in here, show me how you clean up the living room, and then come back the next day. He'll say, okay, Andre, now we're going to really clean the living room. He'll say, but yeah, I did, Nana, look. And I'll be like, no. You see that corner? Get in that corner and start pulling everything out. And then look and make sure he did and didn't miss anything. And then explain, this is a piece of bread that doesn't belong. See, he likes to grab bread sometimes and just, I don't know. He's been doing it forever, ever since he got home from foster care. And he throws it when he doesn't want to eat it no more. And he tosses it here and find it all over. Or he'll come in with the banana and put the peel and just throw it down on the ground. And then I come along and I touch it because I can't see very well. I'm cleaning now and I'm like, ooh, right? Just stupid shit like that, right? But yeah, I think I have to sit him down. I think I have to sit down and have him say, Andre, clean the living room. He'll clean the living room, and I'll go back the next day. I'll say, okay, Andre, now we're going to see what you did. Do you see that corner? Pull everything out, and let's see what's in there. And that's where he's going to find out that he just stuffed everything in that corner to make it look like the living room was clean. Maybe if I walk him through that process, he'll understand, I have to teach him how to start in one corner and just, yeah. But other than that, I want him to win the race. I tell him, see yourself as the hare, okay? Not the hare, the tortoise, okay? I told him the story about the hare and the tortoise. And the hare was so cocky, he thought he had it in the bag. He was going to win. He took off, dashed, did the whatever, went to, fell asleep. And the tortoise, he just kept chugging along, seen the hare sleeping, just went on by, and ended up crossing the finish line and won. I said, Andre, that will be you. That will be you. Just have to give it some time and make the right decisions along the way and gain the confidence and learn how to be independent and focused. Yeah. And then if Marcaine takes him on the job site every now and then, well, as an apprentice, then that will build even more good self-esteem, providing that Marcaine doesn't cut him up and get stupid for making, not working hard enough or fast enough or whatever. But usually Marcaine, when he's not feeling overwhelmed with things, is really good with Andre. Right now he's feeling a little overwhelmed, because, every time there's a roadblock in front of Tisha, the first person she calls is Marcaine and sicks him on me. And he's getting kind of tired of it. Right? So he does. He's sick, I'm thinking you won't let Andre go to a birthday party, so therefore you're alienating Andre. No. Tisha told us not to talk to Alea May. Told Andre to not talk to Alea May, wouldn't let Andre play with Alea May on the Nintendo. Nothing's been resolved. So obviously Alea May is in the middle, and the only reason Tisha wants Andre there is not because she wants to influence him to go to school. She even goes as far as to bribe him. She ignores the fact what she calls him and all this other shit when she's mad. And what she says in terms of, I'm not looking after him. He can live under a tree. I don't care. I'm not even going to be here in 5 years. I'm going to be living on an island. Fuck all three of you. Like, you know, Marcaine won't address that. But yet she wants him to go to a birthday party all of a sudden with the mission in mind to bribe him. So, that's not good. That's how you lose your kids, people. Because it takes one household like that to hook in the kid. And if they give them the drug, they're gone. And the government knows it. That's why they let the drugs fucking flood the streets. I'm not saying Tisha, but, you know, keep it up. That's what you're teaching him. He can go to somebody's house, take a fucking bribe, eat the hamburger, go have a party, go do whatever, and next thing you know, he's not coming home. Why? Where's Andre? Well, I don't know. He's hanging out at so-and-so's house. Bang, bang on the door. I want my kid. You can't have him. Why? Because he doesn't want to come out. What do you mean he doesn't want to come out? Oh, well, didn't you know he's old enough? He's 14 years old. He doesn't have to come out. He can stay in here with the rest of the hoodlums. Fuck you. I'm going to call the cops. Who cares? They ain't going to do shit because we know. That's why we do what we do in terms of a hoodlum adults that handle the handlers in the community that look for those vulnerable kids. And Andre is a vulnerable kid. I ain't feeding my grandson to no handler in the community. No. And because my kids don't have kids, never went through that shit, raising their kids, they can't compute, they can't understand, they can't comprehend what the fuck I'm talking about because they seem to think that the cell phone has educated them on every subject under the planet where what they say becomes law and what I say is garbage, which is bullshit. One more smoke and I'm done. I guess this video is going up by itself and I'll start fresh. I'm not even going to record. I'm just going to go and do whatever because this thing's going to blink out any minute anyway. I'm not going to get mad. I didn't want to get mad. I don't like being threatened, people. Just so that they can get their own fucking way without even fully realizing what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. He needs to water these plants. I need to water. I gotta get going. Now, for the amount of time that I was talking, I could have been over there on my hands and knees cutting grass. But I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm not going downstairs tomorrow. So there you go. Another fucking panic attack. Yeah. Oh, it's a pipe dream. You say you're going to do something, Mom, and you don't do it. Well, I wonder why. I swear, if they would have just left fucking everything alone, it would have been done by now. But, you know, laundry, dishes, changing Maury, whatever. I took him to an appointment, right? Obviously, there's times I have to rest, right? That all takes away from things. Did this stuff, and now I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try and do back to back. I really tried to get out here like at 10 o'clock. If I come out at 10 in the morning, maybe tomorrow, if I come out at 10 in the morning and just hunker down, get Murray out in the afternoon. But I don't know when the next fucking fight's gonna spring up, though. You see, that's the thing. I don't know when the fucking next insult's gonna be thrown at me. I don't know, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I'm just stating fucking facts here. I don't know when the next threat is going to be hanging over my head. Well, no, fuck that. They're already hanging over my head. They're just getting ready to slam me with it. And for what? I'm not dead yet. That's why I say I think they want me dead sometimes, because then I'm out of their fucking way and they can do whatever they want when they want. They can take whatever they fucking want and nothing will stop them. Absolutely nothing. And Andre will be left with nothing. That's what's going to happen if I die too soon. Same thing with Amari. And that's a bad, sad way to be thinking about your 2 remaining fucking adult kids, because you can't include Brooks in that mix. I haven't even talked to him in the last month. He hasn't phoned, so whatever. But even then, I have no quote-unquote relationship with him outside of phone calls from time to time. Yeah. I want Andre to inherit the DJ equipment. I don't want my kids to find it where I got it and fucking sell it just so they got fucking money to do whatever they think they want, and tell Andre to fuck off, that it means nothing because he's just a lowly grandchild to me and therefore isn't in my will. Fuck that shit. That's another thing. I went through that with my grandma with, forget about Judy, forget about Darcy. No, they're just lowly grandchildren. Don't, who cares if their mom died? It doesn't matter. We're the kids. Give us all the money. Fuck them. Fuck the grandkids. And that's what my grandmother did. She fucked the grandkids. She gave all her money to her fucking living kids, and they sucked it up and left her alone, and I was the one going there cleaning up her house and giving her eminas. And then eventually I had to leave those people because I was living there, and there was no means to try and develop myself, gain that independence, as everybody was accusing me of being a welfare mom. Well, if you're fucking accusing me of being a welfare mom, why are you robbing my mom's inheritance, taking it away from me so that you can have a fucking restaurant but I can't? Maybe if I would have gotten my mother's share, I could have opened up a fucking restaurant with my aunts and uncles actually helping me, and I could have been successful. But you know what? They weren't successful, so maybe that's why they didn't want to fucking help me, because maybe they were afraid that I would have the successful restaurant and they would have the failing one. So before that would happen, they just made sure I never had one, because they took whatever my mother was supposed to get and they took it for themselves and they kicked me to the fucking curb. Yeah, and then I was the one giving my grandmother enemas and cleaning her fucking apartment for her, as all those fucking so-called kids of hers disappeared and were nowhere to be found. And yeah, basically fucking broke by that time, because whatever they fucking did, they lost it all. My Aunt Noreen, even my Aunt Noreen, she died at 60 years old. My Uncle George had a fucking mistress all the years that he was with my Auntie Noreen, because as soon as my aunt died, honestly, I'm kind of wondering, I'm kind of suspicious. I never smoked a day in her life, didn't fucking drink, none of that shit. Why the fuck did she die at 60 years old, all of a sudden just flop from a heart attack? Because as soon as she died, my Uncle George, he came in, gutted the house, painted it, sold it, and then moved off to Kelowna with his mistress, people. Kind of suspicious, don't you think? Because she was frigid, and they slept in separate rooms. They stayed together only in marriage. But it's funny how she just popped off, and he just came in and gutted it, painted it, sold it, and moved in with his mistress. Yep. My aunt, my uncle Nick, and my auntie Jerry, they took that money, right, that my grandma gave them. They opened up a restaurant, because I remember I was there. They were so proud and loud and bragged on about this, that, and everything else. Okay, whatever. I'm the lowly shithead, right, in the family, the black sheep. We call them black sheeps, right? I'm the black sheep, so fuck Judy, but, come on by and see what we got. And sure enough, but they lost it. It folded up. They couldn't make it. And then my aunt Jerry had 2 twins, went off and took them up to fucking Kelowna or someplace like that, and was a bingo addict, and didn't like to clean, didn't like to do dishes, nothing like that. Anyway, she ended up losing her kids in the end to social services. They took them away permanently from her because of her negligence. Yeah. That was a chartered accountant that was, the epitome of what was right in a family. Like, seriously, man. I ended up with nothing. I'm sure she's dead now. They're too old. They'd be too old by now. Yeah. Uncle Harry drank himself to death in an old trailer that my grandma bought him. like, a house trailer, and he just drank himself to death. That's it. My Uncle Nick, after he lost that business with the restaurant with my aunt, he ended up going up into Kelowna area and picked apples and drank himself to death. Right. So for all that money that my grandma gave them, including my mother's share, it got them nowhere, people. It got them absolutely nowhere, as they called me the black sheep. Yeah, okay. Just so they could justify stealing from my mom. Because that's basically who they stole it from. Yeah. So it wouldn't be unusual for my kids to not give anything to Andre and Amari if I die too soon. If I can hold out until he's 19, and I'm already telling him, Andre, I have this life insurance policy. It's not very much money, maybe $35,000 because I owe money on it and they're tacking on interest and everything. Right now I've got it between Mark Kane and Tisha so that if I died today, they'd have money to hold down the fort, pay Mr. and Mrs. Gill their rent at least for a couple of years and to make life changes in terms of you don't have to dismantle the whole house. You go ahead, call fucking social services on me with your bullshit crap that I won't let Andre go to a birthday party, and see how fucking stupid you're gonna look. Because that's basically what it's gonna be about here. Because if I was to die today because of your stupid ass shenanigans, what you gonna do? Go looking for my life insurance policy so that you can cash it in and hold down the fucking fort for 2 years while you fucking figure it out at my expense as you're thinking and sell. Andre, I don't want you to. Nana said I could have it. Well, you can't, because Nana's not here no more, and I'm the one that's making the rules. I'm like, no, fuck that shit. I'm like, okay, well, if I sign it over to Andre, I can't at this point, because I'd have to assign an executor. So I'm like, okay, well, who can I sign as an executor? Well, maybe Riley. I could put Riley down as an executor, or maybe Rhea, because it has to be somebody away from my kids. Because I don't want my kids to have it, because I can't fucking trust them. I can't, people. I don't know what's wrong with them. They want to implode the house. They don't want to preserve it. They don't want it happy and healthy. They want it miserable and sad, and to get rid of me so that they can take full control. Yeah. They're like my aunts and uncles. When my grandma died, she lived in an apartment by that time. Right? Like I said, I was the one going to the apartment, cleaning the fucking apartment for her, giving her eminas, with my kids and my 2 little kids in the apartment with her. They weren't around. I was. And when finally she died, they all showed up, and they're tearing her apartment apart, looking for money that she stashed under her mattress or maybe in a drawer. And they were so mad and disappointed that they didn't find no fucking money. And I'm like, holy shit, because I had to come back from Vancouver to go back on the island, and I slept in her apartment with my uncle and whoever else was in there for a few days for the funeral and stuff. And they were all going on about how she had no money, and they were all pissed off. Well, the only reason she had no fucking money is because she gave it to you when she sold the house, and she barely had anything left outside her little pension to pay for her apartment after you guys basically fucking abandoned her. Yeah. I'm stupid. So I know how people are. At least some people. So I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if I want to do that. Because then it goes on lockdown. But at least if that happens that way, if I switch it over and put him as beneficiary, and then add on a guardian trustee, like an estate, or whatever they call it, they can't spend it. They have to hold on to that money until he turns 19, and then when he turns 19, he gets it, right? And he can go get a lawyer. He can go get a lawyer and sue for what happened to him as a baby, like a 28-month-old child. Yeah, he'll have the money for a lawyer, which is appealing to me. But then my kids will hate him because he got all the money and they got nothing as they're pillaging my house. But they're not going to give them very much anyway if something happens to me. That's the point. But it's not a priority. They'd have to hunt through all my papers just to find that shit. Right? Remember when I said, be careful what you throw out? You might be throwing out the legitimate paperwork for my life insurance policy and you'll get nothing. For all the fucking help that you give me. And I don't know if I'll live another 6 more years. Or even what kind of state I'm going to be in when it relates to this shit. This camera's going to kick out. Anyway, I ordered pizza yesterday as a treat because I was working hard and whatever. And we sent down 4 pieces of pizza and some little pizza slice things, I don't know what, like little bread things or something, down to Marcane and Marina. Because food is always a good medium to smooth things over, at least for a little while, you know, because they offered Andre some sandwiches, and I ordered pizza, and he goes, oh, I still want the sandwich. I said, okay, fine. So he went downstairs and he told them a pizza, and you know how, somebody says, oh, we got pizza coming. I mean, as soon as you hear the word pizza, you want a slice. So I said, Andre, now that you told them that, told Marcane that we have pizza, I'll leave it on this note. I said, now that you told them that we have pizza, we kind of have to give them a few slices, give them a couple slices each, right? And those little bread things. Because, it's pizza's on their mind, right? So he did. He took them down. And they ate it. They liked it. They were happy. So I'm not trying to carry no riff here, people. I'm just trying to navigate through my own miserable life, right? Stay focused and try and be, a little more productive for what time I have left with my eyes to the best of my ability, and then be prepared to basically go blind and not be afraid as to what's coming. As well as, making shifts, like life-changing shifts, because, that's why I'm going to have to learn how to play piano or something. It's the only thing I can think of. Okay, so I guess the battery runs low, because we just recharged it, and it's still recording. So anyway, there's Amari. The boys were out here, Andre and his little friend, and they're working on the branches for their rocket stove. Now they've gone to the store, right? It's those baby steps I was talking to you about, right? Riding the bike, right? Oh my Lord. To go get hot dogs or marshmallows or something like that. For tomorrow maybe. Yeah. Right. Oh, lordy, lordy. And then I'll work tomorrow out here. I'm going to come out early, though. Get out here at 10. I'll probably put in a full freaking day. It'll be 2 days in a row. And then Andre wants to go off and do something with his little friend, maybe on Wednesday. We'll see. We'll have to play it by ear. Because then after that, what happens is I get talk about alienation, being alienated. It's more like I'm the one that's being alienated here. Yeah. Right? It's like that dream I had with my son. He building a room to lock me up. Right? And obviously Amari, right? And he was building another room. Alright? I don't know if that was for Andre or what. Maybe. It depends. It depends, right? If you live up to the expectations, you get a green light. If you don't, hey, watch what you're doing. If you don't, then you get the fucking treat. What?
He says, can I go get his bike?
Okay, pay attention.
Yep.
No fooling around, because we need to continue working here, Andre. Only so much time, right?
Yeah.
So, lock the front door and come out this way, please.
Okay.
Did you hear what I said? Yeah. Watch what you're doing. Oh my God.
Huh?
No, I'm talking to the camera here. Amari's grabbing on shit. That boy's been grabbing crap off of my sewing table. I don't know how he does it, people. Not only is he getting stronger, but he pulling down. Like, I had this metal bowl, big one, heavy, right? Pushed to the back. And, had socks and stuff in it, right? He pulled that down. I come into the living room, and there he is with it on the couch. Yeah. I had this glass thing with more socks in it, the lid. Andre said he found that on the edge of the couch. Like, what the hell? You know, because he pushing himself up like this, eh? You know, his legs are gimped up, right? But he manages to use them. And don't ask me how he's doing it, because other than he's like, you know, he's on his using his knee area, and he can go up like this, but his legs are all gimped up, right? And as he's going up, he's reaching with his left hand. He's lefty. He can't really use this hand. Everything is with the left, and he's pulling this shit down. Yeah. So I have to cut off my whole sewing table. And I said, gee, Andre, you know, once I do that, he's going to push himself up. And we're going to, you know, if we leave him for 2 minutes, because go in the kitchen or something dumb like that, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, you're going to find him on the fucking sewing table. He'll be laying up on the sewing table with something dumb yet. So now I'm trying to think. When I went to my appointment, right, with, you know, the Child Development Center with the feeding team and all that. I'll tell him, like, you know, he's been doing this and doing that. And they said, yeah, it's baby proofing to a whole new level. And I'm like, yeah, what? But I'm like, yeah. Are you pulling grass? Oh, you got the water hose. That's a water hose, Amari. Yeah, like, it's baby proofing to a whole new level, man. It's crazy. Anyway, he's there right now. He needs sun. He doesn't get enough sun, so I bring him out now that I made a path. Basically, Andre carried him down the stairs. Yeah, Andre's getting big. Yeah. I said, Andre, God knew what he was doing when he gave me you. Because of Amari. Andre's going to be big. He's going to be able to handle Amari. Yeah. And carried him down the stairs. I'm like, holy cow. But you gotta be proud of him. You're gonna whack your head! What do you got? Keeping your Nana on her toes. Where are you? I can't see you. Oh my Lord. Yeah, still recording. Yeah. Hey? You still that Houdini, baby. Up with your magic tricks. Pulling things down where you least expect it. I mean, technically it's impractical. It's impossible for him to be able to reach and grab it. But because he pushes himself up now, and as if he was standing up, only he's not, because from the, you know, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah. You're being a sun bunny now, huh? Anyway, we'll be back.
Okay.
Tell us, when did we make that? Long time ago. I don't know how many years ago.
4, 5,
4 or 5
or 6.
years ago?
4, 5, or 6, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Ish. What's the inside look
Holding
like?
up. Looking good. We had it covered up. Tell how nice and dry it is.
It's really dry.
Yeah, for all the rain. Huh?
What? Huh? Yeah? Why? Ah.
Anyway, it's nice and dry. It held up the shape all these years. This has been here for like 4 or 5 years, 6 years. It's been here a long time. I have to go back into my videos. Yeah. It has different sections to cook on. And there's this side too. We made it a super duper one.
This one still has wood chips in it, like wood pieces. It has fresh wood in there too.
Yeah? 2 parts to cook on. Or is there 3? 2.
No, 3.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's this side.
Oh wow. You use a cast iron frying pan with that? With the lid? Oh my god.
I don't mind making some chewy dogs.
Making something. Yeah.
Maybe we can have a cookout tomorrow.
Yeah. Everything's really nice and damp. So, but you gotta continue clearing
Everything's
out.
dry. This fan's dry.
That's dry because that was covered. That was the point. It was covered. So the cover works. So put the cover back on. No, right? So that if it rains tonight, it will.
Well, our babies are having babies now.
Yeah. Lots of them. Andre's finding them all up there. All kinds. Yeah. Specialty nuts. Back to ink powder.
There's also one right here,
Where?
right next to you.
Right next to me? Oh, there's a baby by right next to me. Where is it? I want to feel it. Right there. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh, he's a baby walnut, black walnut. So cute.
The one that's in the front is getting big too.
The one that's what?
There's one in the front. I think it might be this one or maybe in the front.
It's a black walnut in the front. I know, those ones are getting kind of big. You can cut them and they'll sprout back up.
Okay, well,
They're small, right?
we're gonna make a fort in there. This is the before results right now. And we'll see you when. Yeah. Bye.